statements issued by hosts, co-hosts, guests, and anyone else appearing on the show do not reflect the stance of the College of New Jersey or the NJDOE OSE. Please use your professional judgment when implementing strategies and resources within your practice.
Switches and apps, little adjustments, big impact. The AT Center presents AT Talks, where every voice has room.
Hey listeners, Brian from the future here. Welcome to part 2 of our multi-part episode with Camp Chatterbox. In this episode, we're talking about the why, the powerful history and mission of the camp. We discuss the camp's origins, the structure of the overnight program and how it builds capacity by involving the whole family, and the life-changing experience of finding community. A quick reminder for our listeners, Michael is a dedicated AAC user. Please embrace the wait time with us. It's not just a pause, it's a powerful and authentic part of his communication journey. We hope you enjoy part 2. We want to learn a little more about Chatterbox and do a deep dive into there. So, Kat, can you start with the history? Camp Chatterbox is a little different from school or other camps because it's so driven by SLPs. Can you tell us about the origins of the camp and who Joan Bruno is and her legacy in founding it?
Yeah, absolutely. So in 1991, Dr. Joan Bruno had been working in the educational technology department at Children's Specialized Hospital, and she had quite a few students or clients on her caseload that were using AAC, and they kind of were talking about summer camps, and she said, you know what, I'd love to have a summer camp for you guys. And so her brainchild was a summer camp where the kids would come for the day and they'd participate in regular camp activities just like any other kid would do, and the parents would come and they would be there doing workshops, learning how to do be good communication partners with their campers or their kids, and learning the ins and outs, how to program your device, those kinds of things. And after the first year or two, the parents were like, "No, we want more. We want it to be at a campsite. We want to sleep away. We want our kids to have it."
Sure.
And she was like, "Okay, let's look for that." And she was able to find. I guess the hospital allowed it to happen, and so she went. There was a couple different campsites in like Pennsylvania that they tried a few, and then up in North Jersey by the Delaware Water Gap, and she was able to give them this whole new experience where now the whole family gets to go, and the parent trainings kind of became more a part of it, and parent networking. And the kids would just have a great experience. The counselors, so there were speech therapists leading all of the groups as there are now, but the counselors all came from places around the world. So that camp, like international camp counselor job place where they can get camp, that's where she got all. So we had the most diverse group of counselors with all kinds of accents and all kinds of amazing different attitudes about our camp kids, but there was never any recreational therapist. So like it was just the speech therapist coming up with everything, and then there was always a lead counselor who was in charge of running the rec activities. In 2009, that's when they dissolved the educational technology department, and so camp became part of the activities connection or community recreation part of the camp of Children's Specialized Hospital. And that's when the rec team became part of the team. There was always still a lead speech language pathologist who was the coordinator, which was Joan for quite a few years after that. I don't remember when she stopped working for the camp. But as time went on, it just kind of, when we found Rising Treetops around 2013, 2014, we've been there ever since. And that's just been like a game changer in terms of a location. It's right in the middle of New Jersey. It's close to things. It's not like super far. So parents who have kids with really medically fragile, they can get to the pharmacy if they need to. It's a really nice location. But with regards to the speech team, we come up with a plan. We work together. We make things fun and functional. Our rec team also, like, we collaborate with them a lot now. And it just makes for like a holistic approach to the children and the parents. They still get so much out of it. And since I came on as the I guess, the coordinator, I've really tried to push, like, self-care for parents into part of the parent programming, and I think they really appreciate it, and we don't push them as hard. They used to do a lot, like so but they now have a little bit more downtime than they used to because while it is vacation, it's also, a learning experience, but they also get to, like, relax. Um, yeah, I think I answered the question. Is there anything else?
You definitely answered the question. That was really good. Michael, would you like to add anything else since you were a camper from the very beginning?
Yeah, 19 years of experiences versus 9, so he knows more.
Everyone gets really into it. To go off Kat, I truly appreciate the fact that Camp Chatterbox stayed true to what it was created to be by Joan Bruno. It was created to be a camp solely for AAC users and their families to learn how to more effectively use their communication devices and to have a lot of fun doing it. 30 plus years of that is something that I don't know can be replicated again. Also, Kat is doing a fantastic job of keeping Chatterbox running. I know it is a ton of work, but I know a lot of people appreciate it, including me.
Thank you, Michael.
That's really wonderful to have that just rich history and just thinking about, like you said, all the components, of it. And clearly there's a lot of structure and just kind of details, I'm sure, that go into it. This is Vanessa. So, Liz, this overnight program, you're the camp coordinator. Can you talk to us, explain like the structure, who attends for the week, and just kind of give us a glimpse into a little bit of what it's like?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Kat and Michael have mentioned, the special thing about Chatterbox is that we are a family program. So our campers are not only the individuals who use AAC devices, but their siblings and their parents. So we have a mix of activities for everybody. Each kind of subgroup gets their own schedule throughout the day. So that includes for the campers and siblings, speech groups in the morning, recreation specifically just for them. And then in the afternoons, we have more of like all camp activities. So that's when the parents and siblings and campers are participating alongside one another. So that includes the pool time, the evening recreation, our talent shows, our field trips, and things like that. So it's just a special opportunity for, people with similar backgrounds to you know, um, just join all together and really just get to know one another and just have fun. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention too that's really special is, as Kat mentioned, the parents, while we're not maybe as structured as we were previously, they do have a lot of opportunities for learning for themselves. So we have, vendors that come in, we have information on emerging technologies, education seminars from people within the field, SLPs and things like that. And then one of the most important components that we feel is just the parent networking. So getting to know the other parents, being able to go back and forth with them, kind of creating a support system within. And I think that's one of the most important pieces is that everyone is getting something from this experience, not just the AAC users.
And I'll say we have so many parents that are like experts in how to get what you need for your kid in school, like the advocacy that just, and they share what they have and they talk all year long before they come back to camp. Like they have email chat lines and they
Yeah.
just really share all the knowledge with each other, which makes them, people in their community that other people can come to. And it's just a beautiful thing.
You guys are creating so many different networks within one within one camp.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome.
Yes.
Michael Michael has something he wants to add.
While he's typing, I will add that I think I love that Michael's been able to come back and be a mentor a few times. Like in the past couple years, he comes for a day and he spends a lot of time. It was something that we were working towards having like a mentor for the whole week. We haven't gotten there yet, but I feel like that's something that we'd really like to add. Um, we just have to work that part out. But he's been fantastic with our campers. Um, just to see the parents get to see what their kids could become, and I think it makes them realize how much more important it is to keep those devices on and at the ready all the time.
Definitely.
Mm.
Also, we started to go on day trips. I will never forget the independent campers and a few of our friends went to the boardwalk. It felt awesome because it was just us.
Yeah, yeah.
Which beach did you
Yeah.
go to? Do you remember?
Point Pleasant.
That's kind of
That's a
the
good.
cool
Lots of
one.
fun stuff to do there.
I was gonna say that's we'll go there. I live not too far from Point Pleasant, and the rides are great there, and it's a great boardwalk to be on. And even in the winter, we'll go there just to check it out and see it. So that's a good boardwalk to go to. Did you play any games when you were there, Michael?
No, but we went to the aquarium, which was our own decision.
That's cool. And you got to see the penguins and all the different fish and that kind of stuff there.
So many.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
And so, Michael, I want to keep going with you because you have such a unique perspective and you've been using a communication device since you were 5. Can you take us back to those early years? What was it like growing up with the device in school and at home? And do you remember your first experiences finding a community like Chatterbox?
Oh boy, you were really going to test my memory. My first year of Chatterbox, I was using direct selection, which is using my hands to physically touch buttons on my device. At the time, I had always used direct select with about 20 buttons on a touch screen, which limited my speech. During my second year at Camp Chatterbox, Joan suggested, urged, and encouraged me to try scanning because I could fill the screen with many more buttons and have access to more words quickly. Real quick, let me explain what scanning is. I use switches near my head, but any switch would work. My device highlights quadrants on the page, and when I hit the switch, it narrows the quadrant down until I select a single button. Kat, how was that explanation of scanning?
It was great. Perfect.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. Oh, I think you have your hand up again.
When I say Joan encouraged me, I should really say she begged me. because I was super against the idea of not using direct selection. At the time, I believed direct selection was always going to be quicker for me, as I did not have to wait for scanning. Oh boy, was I so wrong. After many months of pushing and coaxing, I finally said, okay, fine, I will try scanning. In my mind, I was thinking, I will be back to direct selection within a week. However, after the initial shock of the transition, slowly, I got used to it, and over time, we were able to add over 60 buttons on a page. Over the next couple years, I got quicker and more efficient at using my device. As much as Camp Chatterbox's therapy structure helped me with my device, it was the other campers around me who really made me think, wow, I want to be just like them. I want to be quick and good at using my device. And it wasn't only my device. My second year, I saw a boy going fast in his power chair. I thought to myself, how can I be like him? I followed him around all week, slowly getting better driving my chair. Over the next 16 years, I made a lot of friends, most of which I am still very close with to this day. So, has Camp Chatterbox changed my life? Absolutely, without a doubt, and I would do it all over again.
Awesome. Um, I want to add, Michael, I think you were saying how, you had switched over to scanning, but I do see that you use some direct selection as well. So I like how, you're using multiple modalities there of access. Another question, did you have any friends that use scanning, that you attended camp with that kind of helped you in that transition to access method, process?
Scanning, maybe a few. You would be shocked at how few people use scanning.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah, I think, um, we need more mentors like yourself, to show people, that it can make your communication more efficient.
Yeah, I would say during his time, there was one eye gaze. There were two joystick users, one with her foot and one with his hand. They were pretty impressive as well. Um, But yeah, I think Michael was like the only true scanner, the best scanner.
Yeah.
Now we actually have some pod users who are also partner assisted scanning. They have their low tech and then they have their high tech. So it's coming back around. We've had mostly direct
Awesome.
selectors for a while, and now it's coming back around. And eye gaze is like everywhere now, where it used to be like
Yeah.
so rare.
Yeah. I love pod.
Yeah, me too.
And eye gaze.
Well, and Michael, one thing that you said that I really want to just emphasize again is that you gave it a try. You were
Mhm.
dubious and not necessarily thinking that it was going to be a solution for you, but that you tried it. And I think, I mean, for anybody and whatever you're doing in life, I think that is a really important thing to just give it a try. You could always go back to what you were doing, but I really want to highlight that because I think sometimes people have that fear and then they don't try it. And as you had said, it ended up being very positive. So I just like to emphasize that. I think that's a really important piece. Go ahead.
For anyone using the AC, try different things. You may be missing the next best thing.
Good advice.
And that's a wrap on another episode of AT Talks. A huge thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. We love making this podcast and building this community with all of you. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. The team at the Assistive Technology Center at TCNJ is dedicated to supporting educators across New Jersey. If you were inspired by today's discussion and want to bring high-quality, free professional development to your district, Vanessa and Madison are ready to help. To learn how you can partner with the center and build capacity in your school, head over to our website. You can find all the information you need at atcenter.tcnj.edu. And while you're there, we want to hear from you. Visit the podcast tab. There you can send us a question through our Google form, or even better, leave us a voice message on SpeakPipe for us to play live on the show. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all our latest events and resources. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube with the handle at ATCenterTCNJ. And don't forget to subscribe to AT Talks on whatever platform you're listening on right now so you never miss an episode. On behalf of Vanessa, Madison, and myself, Brian, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
One small device helps confidence grow. School gets kinder when barriers fall from lab to library. Access for all. The AT Center presents AT Talks, where every voice has room. Tech that opens up the doors makes every classroom bloom. Experts and users side by side, sharing what really works. The AT Center presents AT Talks. Turning tools into perks. Turning tools into perks. From can I do this to watch me succeed? Yeah. Every shared story plants one more seed. The AT Center presents AT Talks, where every voice has room. Tech that opens up the doors makes every classroom bloom. Experts and you.